Hi, welcome to my channel. Today we'll be RVing. That might not be a word, but I'm making it one. An RV is a recreational vehicle, obviously abbreviated to RV. It's a motor vehicle or trailer which includes living quarters designed for accommodation. Now, I've always wanted to camp. I have never gone camping, and I've always wanted to, rent or buy an RV. So I decided, or we decided, to make these two things happen. Try camping, but not rough it so much. So we decided to get an RV, rent one, and camp for 3 days and see how it works. So yeah, this is going to be either fun or not such a good idea. Yes, so we decided to go on the road, and this is us arriving at the town where we camped out. It turns out you can't just get an ROV and go on the road and just wing it. It doesn't necessarily work. It would be better to get your campsite so you'd have a great idea of what you're actually doing as far as camping goes. So for this trip, we decided to get a campsite and we got a trailer. What's the difference between a trailer and an ROV, you might ask? Now, an ROV is a vehicle, yes, with living quarters. So you just get into the car, which is like a house, and you go on the road. But a trailer is on its own. It does not move without it getting hooked onto a car or a truck. And there are different kinds of trailers. Also, it turns out Canadians love camping. They love being on the road. So by the time we decided to go on this trip, there were no ROVs that we liked. So we ended up getting a trailer. And there are different kinds of trailers, different sizes. There's types that sleep up to 12, more than 12 people. We got the one that could sleep 4 people. So this is us. We arrived at the campsite safe and sound 3 hours later, and we're just getting into the campsite. As you can see, it's fairly popular. There are lots of cars around. There were lots of families and lots of camper vans and ROVs. And for this particular campsite, you have options. You can decide to generally rough it, go without water and light, or you could pay for that service. Now, since we're still on the decision not to rough it so much, we decided to pay for water and light. So they basically give you the space that you paid for depending on the amenities that you paid for. We stopped at the office. They gave us like a map, and we continued on our trip, still at the campsite. As you can see, it goes on, and this is us basically looking for our space allocated to us, going through the map. I am not the best at reading maps, but this was fairly easy to see. And so there are plots, and if you do not pay for light, or you decided to opt out of light and water, they give you like a plot that does not have those. If you decided to go for just water, they give you a plot that has that, so on and so forth. The size of the plot given to you, it's fully dependent on the size of your RV or trailer. Some are bigger than the others. So this is us having settled in. This is like an idea of where we are. I like the fact that they embrace nature as much as possible, giving you the illusion that you are kind of camping. Now, I haven't experienced any other campsite, so I can't really say what the others look like. I'm just basing my experience on this and this alone. So now that is the light source. It's kind of hooked to the wall behind us, and you just take the wire. That's our plot 47. You just take the wire and hook it onto the trailer, and voila, you have light. The plot includes a fire pit right there, a bench, water, and light. So those are the amenities that came with the space that we rented for the next 3 days. This is the trailer and the truck. As you can see, it's hooked on to the truck. Without that, the trailer is going nowhere, obviously. So yes, and that is the hubby trying to fix in the water so we can have water to use for the trip. Yes, it was pretty easy to fix. I think anybody could do it, not hard at all. And yes, so some ROVs have slide out. What this means is that you can make the ROV or trailer wider. I don't know about ROVs, trailers wider. When you're on the road, you can make it smaller with the click of a button. So that way you have more space when you're using it. This is how the trailer looks without the truck. What I can say about trailers is that people who make them make as much use of a tiny space as possible, as efficiently as possible. Now this particular trailer had a slide out on the other side too. Basically what this means is that it had a covering that was really pretty. As you can see, the lights there become way better during the nights. So with the click of a button, you can make it, I think it's called an awning. You can bring out the awning, and yes, also protects you from sunlight during the day. You can put chairs there and just sit under it, under the fireplace at night, or use it as a form of a shade during the day. So let us see the inside of the trailer. Yes, one of the things I particularly love about this trailer is that it has a net door before the main door, so that way air gets in. But welcome to the inside of the trailer. Now that's the only chair and our dining area. The beautiful thing about this space right here is that you can turn it into a bed at night. Now it would be very difficult for me to make a video at the same time walk with my hands, so you're not going to get to see that. But basically that tabletop gets into the middle of the chairs and the cushions become part of the bed. Now welcome to our kitchen area. Very efficiently arranged space. And you see that tiny thing on the floor with the blue and white colors? That is a bucket. Yeah, shocker, right? You can actually spring it into like a normal sized bucket, which we found kind of handy during the trip. Or you can just collapse it into itself, and then it's collapsed onto itself. Spices, steak. Okay, so this is giving very welcome to my crib MTV vibe. Yes, it's giving welcome to my crib. So this is the section where I say welcome to my MTV, welcome to my crib. Who watched that show then? Oh yes, so welcome to my crib for 3 days. So yes, now what I loved about his kitchen is that as tiny as it looked, it had a lot of storage space. Efficient, right? They had spaces for everything. That's a microwave. Yes, it does work. That's popcorn for movie night later. Yes, and there's a top space. They had all kinds of plates and mugs for tea. and all of that, whatever we needed was there. I was really impressed. So the kitchen area is tiny, but it works. And yes, of course, we have electricity, and if you wanted to switch off the light, click off a button right there, and that was that. Yes, that is our TV entertainment. These are the bunk beds. The boys are very excited about that. So yeah, that's something. The top bunk bed had a skylight, which I found to be really nice. It helped a lot, natural sunlight. And yes, the bottom bunk bed had a window that could open. So as you can see, our fridge is directly opposite the bunk beds. Good use of space, and you could close the fridge permanently when you were on the road, so things didn't fall out. Efficient again. That's the top freezer. Cools very, very well. This is the main fridge that had a whole 3 layers. Another shocker. And this fridge didn't take time to get really, really cool. It took all of an hour, and our vegetables were kept cool and were preserved for the entire trip. Really, really worked. We got like a huge can of water. We got everything you can see, and so the fridge worked. Now welcome to the tiniest bathroom ever made. I dare you to show me a tinier bathroom. It really was small. It's not something I'd like to have for a very long time. Let's just leave it at that. Now, the bathroom had a tiny bit of skylight. Oh, that's the shower. Skylight with fan installed into the skylight somehow. So that helped to get fresh air in there and get the whole place dry in no time. Now, welcome to the biggest bed in the trailer. It says it should sleep 2 people, but we found out that 3 could get in there comfortably well. It's really big. It looks smaller than it actually is. It's really big and was very comfortable, I found. Trailer also came with cleaning supplies, and the top of the bed had storage areas that looked deceptively small but held quite a lot. All of our food that didn't need to be frozen were kept there, so that was nice. Well, that's the grand tour. Thank you for sticking to the end. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please, please, please subscribe. Thank you.
Don't come out.